are, what our limitations are. And this has been going on for the past 14 years.
The Chief Fire Officer could not conclude without expressing gratitude to the Minister of Interior, Inspector General of Police, the Kanifi Municipal Council and Avon Fire Brigade for the unflinching support they have rendered to the fire service unit over the years.
To the recruits, I want to tell you, welcome aboard the Gambia Fire and Rescue Services. You have just begun a very interesting phase of your life, a very interesting journey of being your brother's keeper. And I wish you the very best of luck.
Deputy Mayor Sanyang said his office doors are open for continuous collaboration with the Fire and Rescue Department in a view to collect and update data on incidents of fire, to serve as an important indicator for planning and to reduce the incidence of frequent fire outbreaks in the future. The Minister of Interior, Usman Sonko, urges members of the public to make best use of this day as it avails the command and officers of the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service to showcase their services and products to the community they serve.
During the period under review, the Gambia Fire and Rescue Services have responded to the following calls. Fire calls 528. Rescue and rescue 173. Out of these, 119 were rescued alive. Unfortunately, 60 resulted in fatalities. Sea rescue calls 89. Out of 89, 54 were rescued successfully and 25 resulted in fatalities.
The minister also had a word of advice for the men and women who were being formally inducted into the force after the end of their training.
As your deployment to various parts of the country commences, I would like to remind you that the public will look up to you for their safety. It is critical that you utilize well the knowledge and skills you have acquired in the course of your training. You are expected to uphold the core values of your profession. In particular, you will be required to uphold high standards of professionalism, obey your superiors, and observe absolute loyalty to His Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Sir Professor Alhaji Dr. Yaya A.J.J. Jammeh. And of course, your country in line with the oaths that you will be taking this afternoon.
As proceedings come to close, firefighter 1270 Aliu Baji, who was certificated the best breathing apparatus, was prompted immediately and received $2,500 cash award, with 3 other outstanding recruits who were certificated and awarded $2,500. For GRTS News, I am Fatou Jassi.
The Pack and Pay committees of the National Assembly recently scrutinized and endorsed the 2011 Annual Activity Report and Financial Statement of the Gambia Radio and Television Services. Louis Mendy witnessed the legislative session and reports the general consensus reached prior to the adoption of GRTS's activity and annual statements is that the institution needs a financial bailout from the government.
GRTS Tuesday had its 2011 Annual Activity Report and Financial Statement endorsed by the Pack and Pay Committee of the National Assembly. A summary of the institution's activity during the year under review disclosed the state broadcaster's success in its strive to educate and entertain and to bring both TV and the FM radio signals to the doorsteps of the citizenry in both urban and rural Gambia.
As I speak, Mr. Chairman, we have 33 new lineup of TV programs, 33, excluding the ones newly introduced and those being promoted. If you watch TV, see that some of the programs have been promoted.
Despite the success stories, GRTS during the year under review is understood to have lots of income tied in debt. The fact is that 80% of services offered and programs run by GRTS are not taxable, as situations and operations impacting negatively on the long-term viability of the national broadcaster. The external audit team and lawmakers are equally concerned about the situations.
Going through the records, GRTS need to be helped. As rightly mentioned by the Director of Finance, even if they were to recover all their debts, which is 21 million according to the balances here, they cannot take care of their liabilities.
Names like Gambega Limited, what has Gambega to do with being free from paying their debts, which is a business organization that accrue millions in profits? Look at Gambia Revenue Authority. Today, if you go to Gambia Revenue Authority, if you don't pay, they don't give you. Because I think one of the government institutions came and complaining about GRA being unsympathetic with what they ought to pay. So why do you have to be all that sympathetic with them?
That providing radio and television service is very expensive business. We have had their appeal in terms of increase of government subvention and also user fees. And we will work with them, as regards that.
They are all the way delivering services to the letter, and we all know that. They are everywhere. But these are monies owed to service that has been given to them, and they don't even pay back. So how do they expect GRPS to survive? They can't. I'm not on the side of GRPS. I know exactly what happened. These are collective responsibilities. Be the executive, be the private, and everywhere. So they need help. They definitely need help.
With the problem of debt and revenue in GRTS, what is now the way forward? Is it subvention from government or GRTS to start charging for services and programs?
People catch us unawares between our social responsibility as a corporate body and our commercial service. This is it. You come and say GRTS. The last time I had on our own radio, a private nursery school advertising their own program or Thanksgiving or whatever on our radio, and then saying they went to the education department and the education department endorsed that we should carry that program free. So where are we? That is our problem as far as debtors and revenue is concerned.
Even if GRTS recovered all its debts, 100%, still the total current asset cannot offset the total liabilities of the institution. So avoid liquidation, we therefore recommend to this august body, through them to the government, intervention.
President Jammeh's personal generosity by providing GRTS with cameras, vehicles, computers, and tapes has done the institution some good. But the general consensus reached during this legislative session prior to the adoption of the GRTS activity report and financial statement is that the institution needs financial bailout from the government. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
14 APRC militants in West Coast region were recently awarded with the Excellence Insignia Award by the President through the Governor of West Coast region. The award, as Fatou Jassi reports, is meant to recognize the unflinching support that these men and women showed to the APRC party.
After years of diligent service to the APRC party, these men and women were awarded for their unflinching support and loyalty to the ruling party. 14 deserving hardcore APRC militants in the West Coast region were decorated with the Excellence Insignia in a ceremony graced by top government officials, friends and well-wishers of the awardees. Speaking on behalf of the awardees, Aissatou Jimanga Jaju hailed the President for recognizing their efforts while describing the honor itself as a lifetime achievement. Pa Ansu Sane upon receiving his award expressed joy. Pa Ansu, who gave a brief account of the APRC revolution, said it's one party that has the interests of its supporters at heart. Mas Aksegay, Minister of Fisheries and Water Resources, and Paramount Chief Demba Sanyang, after extolling the efforts of the President in transforming the country, said such awards are applause for the ruling party, and they should be replicated in other regions. The rationale behind this award ceremony, as alluded to by the Governor of West Coast Region, is to empower every sector of society as enshrined in the Local Government Act 2002, showing government's concern for the people's welfare.
In the past, such awards are limited to a few Gambians who must be part of a clique and are treated specially. But today's ceremony is a